compete in agribusiness. That's why they are food sufficient. Nobody in the United States is really out there hungry because of inability to afford food. You can take away Roy Rogers for $2. People don't sit down in restaurants or diners to eat. You can buy from everywhere and go. If you go to the Netherlands, it's a country that is hardly the size of Kano State. Its income from agriculture is in excess of 300 billion annually. They are doing agribusiness. In fact, I went to the Netherlands about 5 times last year. You know what intrigued me? The Netherlands, if you go looking for anything, they will say they have it. They say they even have sesame. We transport or send sesame in its raw form there. They add value to it and they sell it back to us and to other places in the world. They make good money. So agribusiness is the in thing. In Africa, there is vast opportunity for progress in agribusiness.
The technical remarks and the various goodwill messages at this summit by key stakeholders lauded the NABG, while also underscoring the need to be more businesslike in agriculture.
To inform you of the comprehensive effort that the farmer governor is doing in Niger State in terms of agricultural mechanization. This is quite encouraging with this program. Our smallholder farmers now have hope that the future looks brighter for all, majorly in the aspect of our agricultural business. In our state, we have taken agriculture as a business and career. And with this platform, this would have given a direction for a more fulfilling future in terms of agriculture in Nigeria.
We had virtual of all the 36 commissioners of agriculture. The AFAN chairman knows that bringing the commissioners of agriculture is always a big task, but at the NGF we're able to bring all the commissioners. I remember the commissioner from Niger spoke, the commissioner from Plateau spoke. So now we want to do the real physical. When we went to the National Council on Agriculture at Calabar, the commissioners of agriculture do not even know one another. It's so sad. Unlike the commissioners of finance that are in Abuja every month, and the commissioners of health that meet across board, but there is no any single platform for all the commissioners of agriculture in Nigeria. So the Nigerian Governors Forum has taken the bull by the horns. We did the virtual, and we want to do the physical, whereby we bring all the 36 commissioners together so that they will know each other, and then policies from the national can actually be taken to the subnational at the most effective and the most efficient ways.
NABG is a member of the ECOWAS Agribusiness Platform, a very powerful association that offers cross-learning between the different countries of the region and also doing policy advocacy at a regional platform. And in the same vein, they also have membership of the African Agribusiness Association, which all give it another competitive edge in the policy space, and as well as a membership of the African Free Trade Continental Platform. So this creativity in pitching your resource endowments and looking for opportunity to belong into a convening platform that can shape policy both for Nigeria and for the region makes them a very, very important member indeed. Examples have been given in how they shape policy reform. I'm not going to mention all of them, but I was struck by what they did as part of the MIRA project. MIRA is a project funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We call it Micro Reforms in Agriculture. And we gave it to AGRA to administer, and AGRA also brought in other like-minded partners. The whole idea at the time was to look for creative things that if you do, can unlock opportunities for change. And I will share those two examples. What they've done with the New Seed Act is really amazing. In countries like India, if you go and bag grains and sell it as seed, you can go to prison. The laws allows you to be arrested because you've done a fraud. In Nigeria, we have the law. I really would like to opportunities for how we can enforce this. In the same vein, the Fertilizer Act, the new Fertilizer Act, Quality Control Act is also like that.
It is my pleasure to be at this all-important gathering of the Made in Nigeria Agribusiness Presidential Roundtable. This event could not come at a better time. I salute the organizers of this beautiful idea. If Nigeria is to feed its populace, provide employment, and export food, we must shift from agriculture to agribusiness. Agribusiness involves commercialization, thus there must be high productivity, incremental yield, better logistics, qualitative and quantitative processing and marketing. In the ministry, we are now focusing on key elements that will boost productivity and income. These are breed improvement, animal health delivery, feeds and further development, capacity building, linkages, okay, and animal identification and traceability.
I was a bit confused on what I should tell this gathering because it contained a lot of people, intellectuals. So what I did, I just pick up my phone. I called 4 people. I called the farmer, an extension agent, and a local commodity aggregator, and a rural youth that is working with Extension Africa. So I explained the scenario to them, the kind of calibers we have today here, and asked them, what should I tell them? The farmer, this is the response of the farmer. I'll say it in Hausa, then translate. So this is his comment, because when I told him of the policy, he's not fascinated with the policy. What they want is actions on the ground. While we celebrate with NABG of the numerous activities they are doing, we have to collaborate to make sure that this translates to actions and not just discussions.
On behalf of His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, I bring greetings to you from Plateau State. Plateau State stands at the fulcrum of agricultural development in Nigeria, and we have begun the process of rebirth for the key crops that we have on the plateau. This forum, a very good collaboration with this forum, will give us the quantum leap that we will need to take us to the next level. So as we engage here, we will engage corporately and privately to see that we achieve these lofty goals that we have set for us in the Nigerian agricultural space.
The high point of the meet was the official launch of the Agribusiness Productivity Enhancement, as well as the presentation of agro-commodities policy briefs to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was ably represented by Senator Abubakar Kyari, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security.
Mr. President, before you came, when I was making my remarks, I mentioned a few areas and some policies taken out of your national policy, like the tomato policy, the dairy policy, the grading and standard policy, and all that. We worked upon them, and we were assisted by BMGF, and we are glad to hand over this so that you would keep tab of what is supposed to happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
As you are aware, we have deployed far-reaching policies and initiatives in agricultural input support to farmers, strengthened our extension systems, and have put more land into cultivation with a significant funding for dry season farming towards ensuring year-round farming. Our efforts on mechanization across 4 different mechanization programs and projects are yielding visible results, with streams of tractors and equipment making their way into the country and soon to hit farmlands. The recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture is to ensure the availability of sustainable credit facilities to farmers and contributing significantly to the overall productivity of farmers and farm families across the value chain.
For Kingsley Uzoma, Senior Special Advisor to the Vice President on Agribusiness, who represented Vice President Kashim Shettima at the summit. The trajectory of the NABG is in tandem with the efforts of the President's administration in achieving the state of emergency declared on food security, coupled with the quest for the diversification of the nation's economy.
Nigeria has everything it takes to lead in agribusiness, from vast agricultural lands to favorable agroclimatic conditions across the nation, and a thriving youth population with a huge entrepreneurial spirit that is unwavering, and above all, access to regional and international markets. Under the leadership of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this administration has prioritized agriculture as a foundation for economic diversification, has taken agriculture just from subsistence or social enterprise to an ecosystem of economic value creation, making it the foundation. Declaring a state of emergency in agriculture was not just a symbolic gesture by the President, rather, it is a decisive call to action by all Nigerians, which we believe this group here is very pivotal to that action. We recognize that food security is a national security, and an efficient, productive, and well-structured agribusiness sector is essential for economic stability and social prosperity.
The other high-level panel discussions that focused on areas such as farm to export, enhancing market readiness through agri-commodity standard grading, driving sector productivity through targeted policies, case studies in seeds, tomato and dairy, building resilient agricultural value chains in a changing climate. The sessions and other plenary interactions ensured a robust engagement on how to advance the agribusiness in the country.
We are conscious of the fact that it's a very big challenge to maintain an agro-dealership all over the country, particularly by the level of the financial capability of our existing seed companies. So what we do is by increasing the numbers so that you should be able to advertise and make, if you are having a product and you don't want anybody to know, you are only waiting for government market, then it cannot be known.
As a private sector in agribusiness, and encouraging even the governments even to work together with them. Now, when you are talking about implementation of some of the policies that we have, at the federal government level, we only support policy. We only come up with policies, but the implementation of it actually takes place at the grassroots. So, ensuring that there is effective implementation of policies, we have to relate more with the grassroots farmers who are the main anchor on productivity in agriculture in Nigeria.
For us to have sustainability in these industries, these interventions must be private sector driven. So the dairy policy has provided that framework for private sector players to invest heavily in backward integration by way of commercial feed and fodder production, by way of artificial insemination for breed improvement, by way of aggregating milk from the smallholder farmers. You look at the dairy industry in Nigeria, close to 80 to 90% of it is dominated by smallholder farmers.
Change is no longer a long-distance trek that we used to see happening from far distance in TVs. Climate change is here. We know it's disrupting our agricultural systems, it is threatening our food security, and it's impacting several livelihoods. From unpredictable weather patterns to prolonged droughts and floods, our agricultural value chains are under immense pressure.
Government cannot do advocacy alone. In the panel before this one, someone did say advocacy is a big thing. It's about research, ensuring that weather information gets to the farmers, the latest technologies, Internet of Things, and AI that can be used and deployed in the agribusiness value chain. It's quite a lot that can be done within climate change as a business. Carbon market is somewhere that the agribusiness should look at. The private sector is mostly at that grassroots level, right? So you interface even more closer with the communities that produce the food that we process and we consume. And so I think because of that presence that we have, we sort of also have the responsibility to ensure that we're transmitting knowledge, right? A lot of these communities and smallholder farmers do not have access to this information that we have about the climate change and all of these issues that we're increasingly faced with that is affecting productivity. And so I think the first place to even start is in creating awareness.
When we talk about sustainable value chain aggregation and also ensuring that the manufacturing outfit is able to get the enough raw material that it needs, you can't go beyond what the ecosystem can give. So we try as much as possible right now to ensure that local content of our input becomes more and more than the imported aspect.
This is a beautiful initiative for me, and I want to actually use this opportunity to commend the president. One, if you can see today in Nigeria, prices of food is gradually dropping. This is to tell you all these initiatives coming up in agriculture, they are really making ways for Nigeria. And for this opportunity today, we see great positive impact coming soon to this country. For us to come together in different agri-businesses to strategize and to see that move agricultural sector forward, and knowing that agric is the strength of this country.
There's opportunity for us, especially as women, inclusivity and availability of credit facility for we as women is key for us as farmers, because these are some of the challenges that we are facing as women farmers. And we are glad today that our president has recognized this and has given us the opportunity for us to come together and build the agric firm and make it strong and take care of the land so that we can bring good quality food and seed from it.
As the curtain draws on this year's edition of the Presidential Roundtable in Agribusiness, participants were full of hope that decisions and submissions by the various key stakeholders will no doubt advance the cause of agribusiness in the country.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis,